What's up, guys, and welcome to Dedicated Divas Homeschooling Minute Podcast. Now, in today's podcast, I will be talking about some of the things that I feel like you should know when it comes to homeschooling 101, a guide for new families. Now, the definition of homeschooling is basically educating your children at home rather than in a traditional public or private school. Now, this can be off the grid, or if you're going across country. I know a lot of families that like to go cross country and they homeschooling their kids while they're doing so. So, those are forms of homeschooling. Now, there are so many different reasons why people choose to homeschool their kiddos, but I'll just go over a few. One could be flexibility. You could have other things to do, appointments, different things of that sort. The flexibility. It can be personalized education. You can feel like the curriculum that's being taught at schools are not up to par. You don't want your kiddos to learn those things in that way. You can personalize what you teach them. A stronger family bond. You may feel like you need to pull your kiddo back in, or you just want that strong family bond. That can be a reason. You can have a kiddo with special needs and you feel like that you want to teach them in your way. Or you can just be dissatisfied with the traditional schooling. I know that this was one of the main things when it came to me homeschooling my son. He went over to middle school, and I just knew that school was not it. The violence, bullying that came along with that violence, and just all over the school, teaching was not up to par. So I decided to homeschool my son. Now, some of the benefits of homeschooling is basically bounced off some of the reasons of flexible schedule, stronger family bond, a safe learning environment, and customized learning. Now, there are a lot of myths that's going around when it comes to homeschooling. One is that your kids don't get to socialize with other kids when homeschooling, and that's not true. Now, you can socialize through co ops, sports, clubs, and community activities. There are also places that you can go around your city for field trips, and there are communities online where your kiddos can talk back and forth to one another. I know that the website Discord, they have a way for parents to set up a community inside, and you can see what's going on inside of the Discord while your kiddos are talking to one another. So there are different ways for your child to socialize with other children. Now, another myth is qualifications. A lot of people think they need some type of special qualification when it comes to homeschooling, like some type of certification, and you don't. Now, in different states, things are different, but the only thing that I've ever seen a parent needing is a high school diploma or a GED. Now, I will leave a link below in the comments that's pinned where you guys can click into it and find your state and find out more information on if you need a high school diploma or not. But I have yet to see a state where you actually need a teaching certification. You just don't. Now, three, a lot of people think that homeschoolers do not get into college, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Homeschoolers get into college just like any other child do. Now, if you're doing homeschooling where you're independently doing it, where you just send your maybe your grades or your attendance into the state, you just need to make sure that you have everything documented when it comes to the grades and attendance. Now, steps to getting started. I'm going to go over 5 for you guys. I also have a place for this. But number 1, you want to research your state's law. 2, you want to choose a homeschooling method. No matter if you want to go through the unschooling, a lot of people do unschooling. Just say your child has been in school for a certain period of time, a certain number of years, and some of the things that they were taught, you just don't think that that was right, or that's just not something you stand for. You can go through unschooling. It's so many different approaches for you to go through on another podcast, maybe 2, 3 podcasts in the future. I'll be going over this for you guys. Now, number 3, you want to find a curriculum and the resources. Now, either you want to find a curriculum and you want to purchase a curriculum, or you want to have a set plan on what you're going to do in teaching your kiddos a lesson. Because a lot of times when you pull your kiddo out of school and it's something with the curriculum, you don't want to teach them the same thing. And there are so many free resources, websites, for you to go to get your information from, or if you want to just go off the top of your head, you can do that. Number 4, you want to set up your homeschooling space. This basically is a designated area where your child go when the homeschooling starts, their learning area. So you want to make sure that you do it your way. I was finna give you guys some guidelines, but you want to make sure you do it your way, because I have 2 kiddos. One was older. Well, my son, he's already graduated, but when both of them was doing it at the same time, they had different learning styles. One could have iPad or a phone, and the other one just basically had to be really focused on what they were doing. So, however you set up your homeschooling learning space, I have a podcast on this also. If I haven't already did one, you want to set up your learning space the way you see fit and conducive to that learning environment. And number 5, you want to plan your schedule. So just say, for instance, if you have doctor's appointments and times you like going out of the house for grocery shopping or things of that sort, you want to make sure you have the time for homeschooling. Now, there are a lot of people, you may homeschool for 3 or 4 hours on this day. The next day, you may do this. You may just have the casual learning approach. You do everything the way that you see fit. This is the thing of, how can I put this? This is the thing that a lot of people don't understand when it comes to homeschooling. And I'm going to say working from home because I have a channel about working from home also. A lot of people see it like they need to let all of their business out and document things and do things just the way that you have documented them. I'm not going to say rules are meant to be broke, but you need to have your time where you know what you need to do, what you don't need to do, what you need to document, and what you don't need to document. I'm just going to put it like that. Now, over on Ko-Fi, I have a Ko-Fi, and I'm going to link it for you guys. I'm going to set up a membership over there just so it'll be behind a paywall. It'll be the same price as my other Ko-Fi for my work from home. It'll be $3.33 a month. I'm going to start just being upfront and frank with you guys, because there are a lot of people that fail at homeschooling or fail working from home just because won't no one will put you up on game. Basically, that's just the way it is. No one will put you up on game, and they'll act like it's a certain way that you need to do stuff, and you can't deviate from that. and it's just not true. But I won't go off on my tangent right now. I'm going to snap back. Now, tips for new homeschoolers. You want to start slow. You don't want to throw your child into homeschooling just whatever way you want to do it. You want to get their feet wet. So if they went to a traditional school, whether it's public or private, you want to kind of scale back on it just a little bit. So just say if they were in the classroom for a certain amount of time, you want to scale that back just a little bit because you want to start trying to see what they're gonna like, what they're not gonna like, how long they like sitting. Because with homeschooling, you can incorporate different things. For instance, with science, you can take your kiddos outside, exercise, different things of that sort. Cook. It's so many different things that you can incorporate when it comes to homeschooling. Another thing is you want to stay connected. If you have a Facebook page, you want to go in and find some homeschooling groups. Now, if you are like I am, I don't chime in basically on, well, inside of any Facebook group. I just basically go in there for support, just to be around other homeschoolers. Now, if I see fit to speak or talk in any one of those groups, I will. But you basically want to get inside a group just to stay connected. Number three, you want to be flexible. You want to be able to adjust yourself and adjust your kiddos to basically their learning style and what's going on. You want to make sure you keep records, and you want to make sure that when your kiddo does something well, and especially if you all are just now getting into homeschooling, you want to celebrate those successes. Like they got over a hump or something they did not understand and they finally got it. You want to celebrate that. You want to make sure you show them the importance of being celebrated. You know, them feeling good once they do something, because you don't want your homeschooling journey to be boring. But I will put that link below for you guys to the homeschooling by state. So you guys will be able to research the laws and different things in your state. And give me 1 second. It's going to be a quick snap, and then you guys will see it up on your screen. Now, up on the screen, you guys will see the state resource sheet. So basically, you see the state here, state website, homeschooling, and you guys don't have to worry about this. But if you guys are into small business, want to work from home, that will be here, and I'll link you guys over to my other channel in the description box. But basically, just say for instance, if you guys stay in Florida, and this second column here is for homeschooling, you guys can click here. Once you guys click there, it brings you over to the Florida Virtual School homeschooling families. So basically, you guys can read down, scroll down, and they give you the different steps to go through. And this is the same for any state here. So just say Nevada. We're going to click into the homeschooling. It brings you over to the Department of Education, and you guys can find out more here. Now, if it brings you to the Department of Education, that means it was hard for me to find the homeschooling, where the homeschooling was listed in your state, but I did push you in the right direction. We're going to do South Carolina, and when it comes up, it tells you here about homeschooling. They give you three options, and here are some additional resources. And if you feel like you need to contact anyone, this is the email address to do so. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you guys while I'm clicking into each one of these, when it comes to homeschooling, anything that you feel like you want to do, that you need to do, I need to fix this because they changed it. But anything that you feel like you want to do or you need to do when it comes to homeschooling, you need to make sure you keep some type of document, whether it be a Google Doc, whether you write it down by hand. I would rather you have a place to save it all, maybe like in a Chrome browser, because you can save pages. You want to make sure you have a spot where you can go back and all information that was took down or you need is in a certain area. Now, here, where are we? Rhode Island, they have a little bit about um homeschooling, what curriculum, if I want to homeschool my child, do I have to have a teaching certification or special qualifications? And here, I just went over this in this video. No, you do not. No. And so, just basically, I'm going to make sure I go back over and fix Virginia for you guys. But basically, anywhere you click on this document, I'm gonna pin this down in the comment section below. Anywhere that you go on this document under homeschooling and under your state, you should be able to either find a direct link to homeschooling, or you should be able to get to the Department of Education and go from there. If you guys need help with anything, you can put it in the comment section below, or you guys can get over on my Discord and be a part of my Discord channel. I'll make sure I put that in the description box below. So if you guys have any questions you want to ask, you guys can make a ticket or hit me up in the homeschooling section and say, hey, I need this because I can't find it on my own, and I'll be able to help you guys out. But that is it for the video. I'll leave this guide for you guys also in the description box below. I want to wish you guys good luck, and I'll be back in a few days with another podcast for you guys. I'll see you guys then.